Hi guys, it's Waz again with another model. Right, okay, been busy. Yeah, my friend in Leeds again has commissioned me, and I'm really pleased he did commission me with this one. There's a few elements on it that I've copied from other models, and yeah, if you want to slag my channel off and do whatever you want to do, you can post links to them. But I'm telling you now, guys, I have copied some elements from other models onto this one. So I'm not just going to sit here and say, yeah, this is Waz's model, it's 100% original, blah 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 blah. It isn't. I go by a set of rules, guys, and my rules are have fun while modelling, copy the shit out of everyone else, because let's face it, if you make something original, 5 minutes later someone's going to come up on the internet and prove you wrong, even if you have sat there and thought of it all on your own, all by yourself, without any influence. Someone will produce something and say you've copied it. So end of the day, it's very hard to make anything original these days, because a year ago someone probably did it first, you know what I mean, and vice versa, and it goes on and on and on, big vicious circle. So I'm not even going to pretend that some of this is original or what. I have copied some bits, like this gun here, the use of these balls from the trucks. I've seen that on photographs. I'll come on to the KFF in a minute. I copied that off another guy's model, which was absolutely beautiful model. So yeah, so let me talk about the model then. Right, well, it's mostly scratch built, guys. There is another video up of this model before I painted it, after I painted it, and I'm going to put a few work in progress photographs on for you to have a look at and see how I did it. So it's almost 100% scratch built, and what the term scratch built means is it's built from nothing. Converted means you've taken a base model and you've converted it into something else. Okay, so let's get the wording correct. Okay, so this is scratch built. So if I take the turret off there and we ignore him, all that there is 100% scratch built from plasticard. Okay, did everyone get that? Good. All right, apart from the magnets as well. I didn't scratch build the magnets, which are holding things on like that. We'll come talk about them in a minute. The turret then is partly scratch built. It's got some GW bits and bobs on there that I've got out of my bit box to help me along. Okay, but other than that, it's more or less scratch built. Right, guys. Paul wanted some side armour. They wanted it to make it look really proper armoured for this MekBoy Junka. All right. Did I mention it was a MekBoy Junka? Right, well it is, it's a MekBoy Junka. Right, so what I did was I built a basic shape box, okay, and then I built the tracks on. So I started with the wheels. They're just tubes, and I capped them at the end with plasticard, trimmed them off, filed them down, stuck some detail on them, stuck a little square plate at the back, and I made this like downward thing here, stuck that on, made all the wheels the same, so they were all the same size, and then I stuck them onto the body. Then I built the track around it, all out of plasticard. And I don't use super glue. Never ever use super glue. Please, 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 guys, start using liquid poly Umbro. Don't use super glue on plastic. It is just the worst glue you could ever use. I have no idea why Games Workshop encourages people to use super glue on plastic. It's wrong. Maybe if you're going to stick metal to plastic, yes, I get that, right? But that is the only time you should ever use super glue. Liquid poly, Umbro liquid poly all the way, guys. I can't stress that enough. And look at the results I get with it. So if you really are hardcore modelling like I am at the moment, liquid poly all the way, guys. All right, so yeah, build a track. I built some of this in sections. So I built this massive long one down here on the mat in one section, and then I stuck that on, and then I built this curve round because I've got this wheel to work on. So I built the curve round on here. Then these 3 bits here, I built them in a section, but built them with a slight curve on. Then I stuck them on, and then this section here, I built that in a wanner, and then this section here I went round. And as if you notice, and I hope you did all notice, none of my tracks are all exactly the same, if that makes sense. Because again, guys, these are orcs. They don't make anything exactly the same. They don't follow blueprints like my mate Paul keeps telling me. They don't do anything. So nothing should all be exactly the same. So what I did was I made different size tracks and used them, which helped me out in another way. Because when I got round to here, okay, to this last link here, it was not, how can I say it? It wasn't this size, and it wasn't the size of the small track. It was in between. So I was able to cut and make the track fit so it looked one complete track. All right, because there's no worse than coming down here and having a massive gap or a little gap. Because the first thing people, when they critique models, they will look for mistakes and things, and that's what they do. People are instead of looking at the good things, that they'll try and find the bad things. Okay, so that's just the way people are. So yeah, so that helped me out massively. Okay, and then the side armor, all it is two tubes, evergreen tubes, styrene. One goes in the other. And if you do stuff like this, guys, just make sure you leave it overnight to dry, because if you've used liquid poly and within about 10 minutes you put them together, all right, there might be a tiny little bit of liquid poly still wet down here, or the plastic might be still wet down here, because what liquid poly does, it melts the plastic, all right, and softens it in such a way that you can stick them together. Okay, but that's, you just go onto YouTube and YouTube liquid poly, it'll just tell you all about it. But anyway, if you put them in there, all right, and it's still wet, you'll never get them out again. Okay, so just make sure 100% that they're dry before you start sticking things together. And the way I do it is I'll make this tube here, okay, to the length I want it. I'll cut a small piece of plastic card there. I'll make sure that this is a right angle, okay, so it sticks flat to that, and then I'll leave that overnight. Then I'll stick this component here, so you've got that tube and this bit of plastic there. I'll put it into the hole, and then I'll get this and I'll stick that to that, then obviously when they're on both sides, all right, and then I can get it to the right height, the right level, and then I'll leave that to dry. And then all you do then is you pull it out gently when it's dried, and they're stuck on exactly in the position you need them in. Okay, I've done a little bit of detail on the back of here, because when this is on, you've got a gap here. I'll try and show you over there. You've got a gap here, look, all right, so it's got a little bit of detail behind it, so it doesn't look like it's a piece of plastic card stuck to a vehicle. Again, guys, my main aim is to make sure that when I build a model, all my models blend in with Games Workshop models. Okay, that's just my aim. Okay, there's no worse than having a model that doesn't look like it's, you know, belongs. All right. The gun itself, that's one of them cannon things you get with the add-on pack, I think, with the Death Roller, I think it's called. And I just trimmed it all down, got the bits I liked off the gun. I use these ball things here from the truck kit, some tubing, truck kit again, look, and again that's off the same packet. It makes a nice little exhaust. I've done that before somewhere, I can't remember on what model. This is garden wire. It's got a plastic coating around it, and all I've done is twisted it together and then glued some tubing here so I can super glue it into it. Okay, and then I've bent it into the position I wanted it in. Then I glued the plastic tubing to there, and it helps it quite a lot. Okay, what else have I done? The engine parts, again, I've mentioned these type of exhaust system before on other models. I love this type of exhaust system. I think it's great. Now this bit here, got asked questions. On a MekBoy Junka, it has like a turbo booster that it uses to shoot around the battlefield. Remember guys, I don't play the game, so I don't really know. I'm just following instructions of what my friend tells me to build. So he wanted this big engine at the back of it that simulates that. And what this is, believe it or not, and in my rules of building stuff, one of them is make sure you be able to walk around your house and identify everyday items that you could use in a model. Now that is off one of my child's toys, and it was a real cheap and nasty garage thing that we got him a while ago for Christmas. I shouldn't really say it like that. No, it was a really expensive, beautiful toy it was. But anyway, yeah, it lasted about a month, I think, before he got bored of it and it broke and everything. So I just kept that, and all that was a stand like that, and the garage sat on top of it. So I looked at that, I thought, well, no, that's going to make a really good engine, you know. But it's a nightmare to stick. This stuff here, I don't know what kind of plastic it is, but it doesn't like liquid poly Umbro liquid poly to stick it to styrene, and it also doesn't like super glue to stick it to styrene. So it's a bit of a nightmare to stick it. If anyone's got any good tips on what to use to stick this type of plastic to this type of plastic, let me know. I'm always up for suggestions. All right. So what I've done is I've used super glue as best I can, and then what I've done is I've used rods and stuff and drilled holes into it and made them like braces to hold it on, just in case the super glue fails. Which I'm pretty sure it won't, because I've braced it up really well. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, guys. Right, with this model as well, he obviously commissioned me with this big gun thing. I think it's a shock gun, I'm not sure. You'll have to ask Paul. But anyway, and he also wanted the KFF, so that goes on there as well. And he also wanted it open top. Now, bloody hell, it's how the friggin' hell do I do it open top? Honestly, so the way I've done it as an open top vehicle, okay, I've made this, and this is little hatch. I've designed it so it just stays shut. All right, guys, and it's on a hinge thing. So inside, there you go. It's got some ladders that goes inside all the way down into the bow of the beast. So yeah, so that now is classed as open top. I hope he gets away with it. He's not said anything yet, and he's seen photographs of it. So yeah, so that was the other option. So open top, and now it's closed top. So if you think that's a genius, if you think that's ingenious, let me know. Yeah, comment away, guys, comment away. Right, I'm not going to stick these on, but I'm just going to show you them. He also wanted a scorcher option. Okay, so I've made these other little turrets to go on there as well. Unfortunately, with the Scorcher thing, you get this horrible little... Well, it's not horrible. They're beautiful models. You get this nice little thing that comes down there, but it's annoying because it's hard to turn. So that's just going to be sat there like that, and then obviously it'll turn there nicely, but it gets to there, it stops. But let's remember, guys, that's a piece of rubber tubing, so that would turn round there like that. All right. But with the turrets, the side turrets, stick that back. Again, another Scorcher. But with the side turret, I've had to turn. So the Scorcher normally sits like that, doesn't it, guys? All right. But I've had to turn it upside down, okay, to make it sit above the track and keep the profile as it is. But it works fine. It works fine. But again, when he's playing it, no one's going to notice. And to be honest with you, I still think it looks cool. So, guys, I've waffled on now for nearly 15 minutes on this model. This is another great model. I love getting commissioned by Paul for stuff like this, because it really lets me get out there, search for images using Google search, and then I can make beautiful models like this. And it really makes me happy, Okay, guys. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Please share. Please encourage your friends to join my channel. People like you on this channel that sit there, watch it, is the reason why I make these models, guys. It takes a lot of my time to produce videos and stick them on YouTube and blah 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 blah. So yeah,